Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavityam Karavavahai Tejasvinavdhitamastu ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yesterday we saw Ajnana Dhumsakam Jnanam. Jnanam, what is knowledge? That which destroys the ignorance, whether it is ignorance of the world or ignorance of the self, revealing the self. Okay? Now, Vijnanam is Uvayatmakam. Vijnanam is that which illumines both knowledge and ignorance. Is Vijnana. Okay. What is Jnana Vijnana? When you surrender everything in that, both Jnana and Vijnana, both ignorance and the knowledge. When you surrender that both, meaning that which illumines both this, or that which is the substratum for both, that is Jnana Vijnana. The Shuddha Chaitanya, the pure self is the substratum for both. Okay. Now, we come back to the previous question. Previous question is, we started with what sadachara is. Then, what is the proper conduct? Then, we started inquiring each of them with respect to a sannyasi. Okay. Then we went into the Vedantic discussion, because this is the only way, that is what he has taken sannyasa for. Sannyasa shravanam kuriyat. He has to study shastras and he has to inquire into this. That is why he has taken sannyasa. So he is put into that task. Now we come back to, okay, oh, is it only for sannyasi? No, it is for everyone. Then who, why, how? So for that he says, okay, now first to show that, first he says the different kinds of whatever activities we say, that is all because of the gunas. So he first talks about gunas. Bhoktā sattvaguṇaḥ śuddho bhogānāṃ sādhanaṃ rajaḥ bhogyam tamoguṇaḥ prāhurātmā caiṣāṃ prakāśakaḥ bhoktā sattvaguṇaḥ śuddho bhogānāṃ sādhanaṃ rajaḥ bhogyam tamoguṇaḥ prāhu cha esha atmā cha eṣāṃ prakāśakaḥ. Beautiful. What does he say? Directly, if you take, I am going to interpret this directly. Okay. Śuddha sattvaguṇaḥ bhoktā. The pure sattva is, because three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Okay. So pure sattva is the bhoktā, the enjoyer. Bhogānāṃ sādhanaṃ rajaḥ. Rajoguna is the means for the experience. Then bhogyam tamoguṇaḥ. Tamoguṇaḥ is the object of experience. Okay. And Atma is the illuminer of all these three. Okay. Now this is what is the general meaning. How? Bhogānāṃ sādhanaṃ rajaḥ. The rajas is the means for the experience. Let us take an example. Bhogyam tamoguṇaḥ. The object of experience is tamoguṇaḥ, inert object. Let us take a piece of bone, dry bone, nothing, no juice, nothing. It's dry bone, no juice, no flesh, nothing, no meat. It's just dry bone. Okay, that is tamoguṇaḥ. Example. Now, bhogānāṃ sādhanaṃ rajaḥ. Rajoguna is activity. Okay. Now, the desire that this bone, which is dry, will give me happiness. So this inert object, this dry bone, will give me happiness. This is what the dog has, not you. The dog has. So the dog starts biting it, chewing it. Now, because of chewing the dry bone, what happens is it hurts his teeth and flesh. So it starts bleeding. And it enjoys its own blood, thinking that it is coming from this bone. Bhoktā sattvaguṇaḥ. That is what is the experience. Enjoy. He enjoys the happiness. This is the meaning basically said here. But the real meaning, if you want to see, is śuddha sattvaguṇaḥ bhoktā. Śuddha sattvaguṇaḥ, pure sattva is bhoktā. Means when we say we have to gain purity of mind, cleanse the mind. The word we use is Shuddha Sattva. Chitta Shuddhi or Chitta Sattva. Okay. Now, Shuddha Sattva here means mind. Mind is the enjoyer. Okay. Now, next. Bhogānāṃ sādhanaṃ rajaḥ. The means for experience is a action, desire, etc. is a rajaguṇa. Okay. Then, bhogyam tamoguṇaḥ. The whole world is an object which is product of tamoguṇa, because it's all inert. And we know the tamoguṇa product is what is the 5 elements, etc. So that is tamoguṇaḥ. Okay. So now the experience is mind. The experience activity is the tamoguṇa, the action, whatever, and rajaguṇa. And the object of action, experience is the world. Where am I here? I'm nowhere here. That is experiencing. This is the means, and that is the object. They are doing their own activities. Guṇāguṇeshu vartante. That is why Bhagavan says, Guṇāguṇeshu vartante. The gunas remain in gunas. I have nothing to do with it. Atma cha caiṣāṃ prakāśakaḥ. I am the one who illumines all these 3 states. The 3 stages. Experiencer, experienced, and the means of experience. Okay. Triputi. All the triputis, trinities, I am the one who is illuminating it. Okay. Now, we have to, after explaining that, now we have to go into the brahmacārī, etc. Who is a brahmacārī, etc. Okay. How this person can be a brahmacārī. What is the definition for brahmacārī here in this situation? This person who is established in it can be called brahmacārī or gṛhastho or vanaprastha or sannyasi, whatever. Sannyasi we have already taken. He can be called even as a brahmacārī. There is no problem. What is a brahmacārī first? So he says, brahmādhyayanasaṃyukto brahmacaryārataḥ sadā sarvaṃ brahmeti yo veda brahmacārī ucyate brahmādhyayanasaṃyukto brahmacaryārataḥ sadā sarvaṃ brahmeti yo veda brahmacārī ucyate. Now, first, before understanding this, brahmacārī, gṛhastho, vanaprastha, sannyasi, these are all lifestyles. Ashrama, we say it. Okay. Now, what is a brahmacārī? Brahmacārī is celibate. That is the general meaning we give. Okay. Now, what is brahmacārī really? Who is a brahmacārī? So, first, the definition according to the world is said here. brahmādhyayanasaṃyukto brahmacārī ucyate. brahmādhyayanasaṃyukto. Saṃyukto, associated. With what? Adhyayana, study of what? Brahma, Veda. One who is associated with the study of Veda is called as brahmacārī. This is the definition of brahmacārī in the world. One who has taken up the life of celibacy and studies the Vedas from the Guru is called as brahmacārī. Yes, serves him and studies is called as brahmacārī. Now, that is general definition. That is given by Acharya himself in the shloka. Now, let us go to the specific definition, how this knower of self can be also called as a brahmacārī. So he says, brahmādhyayanasaṃyukto. Brahmādhyayanasaṃyukto. Knower of self means one who is a practitioner of self can be called as a brahmacārī. Practitioner, knower, whoever it is, he can be called as brahmacārī. So it's brahmādhyayanasaṃyukto. Brahma here means Vedanta. Adhyayana, study, saṃyukta, associate. One who is associated with the study of Vedanta means Shravana, one who does the Shravana properly. Okay. Next, brahmacaryārataḥ sadā. Sadā brahmacaryārataḥ. Always is associated with the brahmacharya. Brahmacharya. Brahma means Vedanta. Charya means practice. Practice of Vedanta means inquiring into it. Manana. Okay. One who has the habit of performing the manana. Sarvaṃ brahmeti yo veda sarvaṃ khalvidam brahma. One who understands everything is indeed the Brahman alone. This is nidhyasana. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. One who performs the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is called as a brahmacāri. Ucyate is called as brahmacāri. Meaning, one who performs the Shravana, one who performs the Manana, or one who performs the Nididhyasana is called as brahmacāri. There is a sutra in Panini, Tat adhite, tat veda. Tat adhite, tat veda. Tat adhite means when he studies, tat veda means when he knows. If he studies or if he knows, the same suffix comes. So here ghai, the same suffix comes, and because of that he can the same form, the form will be same. Yogaha adhite janati iti va yogi, one who is studying Vedas, or one who knows, one who studies yoga, or one who knows yoga is called yogi, can be called as yogi, both. So similarly, one who practices Shravana, one who practices Mana, and one who practices Nidhyasana can be called as a brahmacāri. One who practices not Nidhyasana, one who is in the established Nidhyasana is called as, can be called as a brahmacāri. Okay. Now gṛhastho. After explaining the brahmacāri, who is a gṛhastho? So it's gṛhastho guṇamadhyasthaḥ śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate kurvanti karmāṇi nāhaṃ karteti buddhimān. gṛhastho guṇamadhyasthaḥ śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate guṇāḥ kurvanti karmāṇi nāhaṃ kartā iti buddhimān. First, the definition for gṛhastho. What is a household? Who is a householder? guṇamadhyasthaḥ gṛhastho. One who is in the midst of the gunas, this sense objects is called as gṛhastho. Okay, one who is in the midst of involved with the sense objects is called as gṛhastho. Or one who is involved with the objects of the gunas is called as gṛhastho. Now, let us come to the Vedantic meaning. Guṇāḥ karmāṇi kurvanti. The gunas perform the action. Aham guṇamadhyasthaḥ. I am one who is in the midst of gunas, not the gunas, not associated with the gunas. So, na karta. Aham na karta, na karta. I am not the doer. I am in the midst of the gunas. I am not the doer. So, guṇaḥ activity, but I am not the doer actually. It's all done by the gunas. Guna guneshu vartante, Bhagavan says, Guna guneshu vartante, gunas stay in gunas. Means the sense organ and sense objects, they stay in the same. The thing is, the sense organs are associated with the sense object. I have nothing to do with it. Okay? Iti buddhimān. This kind of knowledge, one who has gṛhastho, saha gṛhastho, he is called as gṛhastho. And for him, śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate, the body is the house. When you say the body is the house, we have to understand, this is going to be repeated again. When you say the body is the house, you understand that you are the owner of the body, not you are different from body. That's the idea here. You are different from body. You are not the body. If I say, I am the owner of this house, I stay in this house, that means I am different from the house. I am not the house. So that's the idea he wants to explain here. Okay? Because he is one who is always being, the gṛhastho is normally the one who is involved in the activities of sattvaguṇaḥ, rajaḥ, and tamoguṇaḥ. But I am not because it belongs to me, not me. They are not me. Next, in the general sense, it does not even belong to me. Where is that difference? Tatra ko moha kashoka ekattam anupashyatah. Where is the moha, delusion? Where is the shoka? Superimposition because of that. Avrana vikshepa. Ekattam anupashyatah, for one who sees the non-duality. Okay? Kimugraiśca tapobhiśca yasya jnanamayam tapah harsha marsha vinirmuktah vānaprastha ucyate. Kim ugraihi tapobhihi syat yasya jnanamayam tapah harsha amarsha vinirmuktah vānaprastha ucyate. So generally, first let us see who is a vānaprastha. Vānaprastha means a forest dweller means one who leaves the house and goes and stays in forest. What does he do in forest? What does a forest dweller do? What is his job? Ugraihi tapobhihi harsha amarsha vinimuktaha vanaprastaha ucyate. One who performs fierce penance. Ugraihi tapobhihi. Through fierce penance, one who by performing fierce penance gets rid of, is relieved from, liberated from harsha and amarsha. Happiness and sorrow means he is not associated with any mood swings. He is not also attached with any moods. That is, he is called as vanaprastha. That's his general meaning. Okay. Now, Vedantic meaning here is yasya jnanamayam tapaha, for one whose penance is tapaha. Tapasantape is the root word. Tapaha santape, accepting the pain openly. You receive, you are involved in it. You desire to have that pain. Meaning, that's the practice. That is to that's kind of forbearance, right? So he says, jnanamayam tapaha. One for whom jnana, knowledge itself, is the tapas. There is no tapas needed for him. That's why he says, Ugri tapobhihi chakim. What is the need for use of all these fierce penance? Harsha, amarsha vinimukta, because of this jnana knowledge, he is beyond. Vinimukta, he is liberated, he is beyond the sorrow and pain, the happiness and sorrow, pain and pleasure. Sa jnanaprastha ucyate. That kind of person is called as vanaprastha. Okay, completely. There is still some hankering there for the other vanaprastha. Here nothing. He is called as vanaprastha. Now, sa grihiyo grhatitaha śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate. Sagrihi yo grhatitaha śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate. As I said, śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate is repeated again. So we have to understand this. Yaha grhatitaha, one who is beyond. Now we are talking after gṛhastho, brahmacārī, gṛhastho, vanaprastha, sannyasi. Sannyasi is already over. Now this is the fifth state beyond the sannyasi, or sixth state beyond all these four. There are two states. Why I said fifth, sixth, then I changed it to sixth, because there are two states beyond the four lifestyles. One is, if you are not entering the proper lifestyle at a proper time, age, then you are called as a anashrami, a person, one who does not have any ashrama. Okay. Now, if you have gone beyond the rules of ashrama and understood the truth, then you are called as atyashrami, one who is beyond the ashramas. That is why he says, yah grhatitaha, one is beyond the house. House means, what is house? Śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate. Śarīraṃ gṛhamucyate. Body is called as house. Yo grhatita, one who is beyond the house, is called as grihi. Means one who owns the house is called as grihi. Grha yasya asti iti grihi. One who owns the house is called as grihi. So this fellow is not attached to it because he sees it as different from himself. He sees it as a place of residence and not himself. Okay. Therefore, he is beyond the ashramas. Because all these varna and ashrama and all these other activities, they are all dependent upon the body. When you understand you are beyond the body sense organ complex, then there is no question of the varna, ashrama, etc. Okay? Now, sadācaramimam nityam yo anusandhatate buddha samsara sāgarāt śigram sa mukto nātra samśayah. Sadācaram imam nityam yo anusandhadate buddha samsara sāgarāt śigram samuktah nātra samśayah. Imam sadācaram. This text, sadācara is the name of the text. Sadācara anusandhana, he said. Now he takes sadācara. What happened to Anusandhana? We'll come to the Anusandhana later. Sadachara. This sadachara, this proper conduct, the right conduct, whatever is. So, whatever we explained, as it is, yaha buddhaha nityam anusandhatate. The one intelligent one, the wise one, who performs this, practices this always. Anusandhatate means practices. Nityam, always. One, if this intelligent one, this wise one practices this always, continuously, then sa shīghram samsara sagarat muktah. He becomes liberated from the ocean of samsara, shīghram, quick. Not shanihi, slowly. No. Slowly is your process. But if you practice this, whatever is said, because the Vedantic process said very clearly, the inquiry process said very clearly, if you practice this, whatever is said here, then you get liberated from the ocean of samsara immediately. Atra samsheha na. There is no doubt regarding this. That is how he completes the sadachara anusandhana. Okay, we'll see this. Om purnamadah purnamidam purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.